Hello traders, welcome to my recap for my trades today for Thursday, January 17th. I had a really great day today, 87 pips, and the reason why is because of one home run that I caught, which was a great trade, 60 pip trade, one of the bigger trades I've actually had in a while. And it ended up being a 100% day, 4 wins, 0 losses. If you have watched some of my recaps, you know that's actually pretty rare. I usually do have a loss or two, even if even on a very good day, I generally have a couple small losses in there, some partial ones. And today, everything just kind of worked out. I was able to use patience and get some really good trades. So I'll show you basically what I took today. It started off where I had a short here in mid Frankfurt hour, one of my favorite times to get some smaller wins usually, but you can generally get some positive pips on the board during that Frankfurt hour. So I got a short in here, and it's interesting to point out that even though this potential entry here and this one look quite similar, they actually are quite different in terms of the structure, in terms of what's happening between the Bulls and the Bears there, the battle that's going on. So this wasn't valid, but once it came down again, that was a valid short. So I got in there. It also, as you can see, was a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. It was a very small pattern, so you wouldn't expect too much of a move on it, especially in mid Frankfurt hour, but it still did pay off some pips. But we did come down in here and we got into a real extreme. And when we came into that area, I was more than happy to take my pips off the table, basically as soon as we started to come up. And then we stalled on that extreme. And that was a big sign for me that there was a potential long opportunity. The timing was still fairly good. The area was good. And the price action was definitely good as well. So I did take that long there. And then we had a very strong move into London Open, as you can see. With that strong move, it basically convinced me that I should hold on to see if we have another leg once London opens up. So rather than taking my pips in here, even though the move was pretty good, I wanted to see the reaction at London Open. We'd broken these highs. And as you can see, it did pull down, but continued up with another leg. And this is where I had moved my stop. I actually moved it as price was coming down in here. I figured if it broke that 3,300 again, it would be a good idea to take my pips off the table. But that did hold. It gave another leg. And again, I moved my stop below the swing and just kept it going. And I just had a take profit pretty much up here into the 3,350. We eventually did work up here. You can see that on this move lower, I did pull my stop in here. I had almost hit it, but it didn't quite. And then we ended up bumping up to the 3,350. And when we did, I actually did remove my order there. I wanted to see if maybe we would burst through that area because this move had been so strong. But as soon as we started to hold there, I just took a manual exit on that one. So an excellent trade, one of my better ones I've had in a while, those 60 pips. And those big trades that you get once in a while, those home run trades really pay off in the long run. So I put a thumbs down here because there was a potential short, but it's very risky after this type of move going against the major trend. So not a trade I would take. From there, I was hoping to get back in with the trending move, even if it was just for a smaller scalp. I was looking for something in here, a type 2 on the false break, but unfortunately that did not materialize. And then in here we started to chop for a little while, but we're slowly starting to make our way upwards as well as we got closer to the London lunch. I finally did find a trade that I liked in here when we had a false break of this area, and also had the extra evidence of the 3,350 level. So that amount of confluence, the extra evidence there, was definitely a good reason to go long. My only trouble is that I got a little bit greedy. We started to stall up in here, as you can see on the M5 chart, and I was hoping, a lot of times on days like this, right at the London lunch at 11, we can see a little bit of a burst, usually of the exhaustive variety. So I was kind of hoping to see a final burst to this move somewhere up in this area, and then I could get out of my trade. And so that didn't happen, and I ended up basically having losing some potential pips on that I could have had if I had banked a little bit earlier. So I ended up only making 5 pips on this trade, which was kind of disappointing considering, and that's just one of those things where greed can kind of get to you, and especially when there's that sort of stalling up in there, you probably are better off taking those pips off the table. So little bit of a lesson learned there today. After that, I was basically done for the day, or at least I thought I was, because price got quite choppy and I don't usually trade in this London lunch area. And I already had a lot of pips banked for the day. So I wasn't really planning on trading, but I was still doing some other work and saw on my screen when the news came out that we had a very good move with that news. And it looked like it was going to follow through and continue the trending move. So I did end up taking one last trade here. And again, I did make some mistakes today. As you can see, I got a little bit greedy here for the second time. Should have learned my lesson on the last one. But it came down into this area. We started to stall, and I wanted to wait again for the New York Open, the second one, the New York Stock Exchange Open. I was hoping to see some continuation on that move. And we did push down a little bit, as you can see, into that open. But then we formed a double bottom here and started to come back up. And so, again, I could have had a much better exit on this. I think there was over 20 pips available, potentially 21 pips available on that trade. I only ended up getting 12 of them. So in the end, probably could have had an extra 10 or so pips on the day with those two trades that I tried to hold a little bit too long. But it kind of balanced out with the trade that I did hold for a long time that ended up being a huge runner and really made the day for me. So hopefully you guys got something good out of this. Feel free to check out our website, samuraiforextrading.com, and you can learn a little bit more about the range bar approach that we use. Thanks, guys.